Hello everyone, welcome to the third part of Endure the King. We're going to start off with reading this little twit longer that DSP has posted because it's very, very interesting, and I just want to talk about this, and then we'll get right into the Endure the King, and I will also put the timestamp below when I get into the video if you just if you don't care for this part as always. So let's get started. A special note on uploads to DSP Gaming for the next 2 weeks. I will be taking time off from live streaming starting July 12th and will not return for several days, probably sometime on July 16th, with a normal schedule resuming on the 17th. So I just want to say something about this particular part. This is going to be, it's just the way that he worded it is just, it's weird because it leads me to believe assume this. And I don't like making these assumptions, but this is what it sounds like. It sounds like that he might be going somewhere. Because the thing is, the reason why I say that is, if he's staying at home for those several days, then why can't he just start streaming the 16th? Why is he gonna resume streaming on the 17th? See what I mean? Like, it just seems arbitrary or just odd to say that I'll be back. I'll probably be back on the 16th with resuming schedule on the 17th. That just sounds weird to me. But whatever. This means that for 5 days I won't be producing new videos. However, in order to keep new videos flowing on DSP Gaming while I'm away, I have instituted the following changes. So he's changing the way he does stuff. So let's get into that. I will not be uploading every single video that I capture during daily the live streaming. It's such a weird phrasing. I will not be uploading every single video that I capture during daily live streaming. You could just say during my live streams, but whatever. With the Independence Day beatdown event, right now I have 36 videos saved that I will be uploading slowly over the course of next week. In addition, when I begin playing Dark Souls 2, there will be a stagger. Man, fucking hate that he uses that terminology for some reason. When he uses these weird terms like stagger, it just kind of pisses me off. I don't know why. There's not a rational reason behind it. It just triggers me, I guess. And the videos between what point I'm at during daily live streams on Twitch and what videos will be uploaded on DSP Gaming. There will always be a several hours gap on purpose to create surplus of videos for me to upload upload the DSP Gaming during my time away. For example, on the Premiere, okay, so yeah, that's basically what he is. He's just going to be creating a gap, and he's going to be uploading those videos over the course. See, like, here's his July 10th and Tuesday, July 11th. My streams will start earlier and or run later to create a few extra hours of gameplay to further the surplus, etc., etc. I have a feeling he's going to create more of a surplus than before. Like, he'll probably still have videos even after he returns. Just saying. I hope to create enough of the surplus of videos to upload at least a dozen or more to DSP Gaming daily during the time away, and then immediately pick up where I left off when I return on Monday the 17th. One final note. So here is where it gets good. This is part where I was just like fucking pushed back by this, but of course DSP fans don't really give a shit. They just love giving him money. That's the best thing about that they love about him, I guess. One final note. My ability to keep doing this full time relies on Twitch stream contributions via bits, subs, and tips, since I will not be streaming. See, again, this is what I mean, that it blows my mind. Blows my mind that when he goes to these little tangents about YouTube and Twitch. Oh, Twitch is how I pay the bills. You gotta support me on Twitch and Patreon. Oh, but YouTube, I need the YouTube revenue, guys. I need that. Like, it's just, he never really... He always changes what his focus on financially is. And it's like, it's weird. Since I will not be streaming from July 12th to 16th, I obviously will not be receiving said cheers, subs, tips during this time period. To make up for this, I hope that viewers will be extra generous during the first week of Dark Souls 2 streaming, and then again upon my return from time away. If not, July could be disastrous month, and we certainly don't want that. He doesn't want that. But that is so fucking shitty. Imagine your favorite YouTuber ever comes and says, guys, I need more money. You need to give me more money. I cannot pay the bills. Just give me more money so I can go on vacation. Then don't go on vacation. Like, vacations are nice. Yeah, it's nice to go on vacation, but if you're in a situation where you cannot afford one, don't go on vacation. I'm sorry, like, that's kind of shitty thing to say to people that, oh, well, you know, whatever, but if you're in a position where you're unsure of paying the bills, then, you know, what's more important at that point? Paying the bills or going on vacation? You know, this guy really needs to really look at his priorities. He shouldn't look at, oh, I have to, or, you know, everyone else can, why can't I, kind of mentality, because, you know, a lot of people can do a lot of things that I can't. I'm not going to sit here and demand people to make that a reality. Like, a lot of people can host a panel or go to conventions. Am I going to start begging you guys to give me money so I can go to panels and conventions? No, that's ridiculous. I need to focus on my own life. I need to focus on how I can you know, get me there. I'm not going to sit there and be like, guys, I need you guys to give me money. Please, I need to go to Comic-Con in California. I need to afford this trip. Guys, pay me to go to this trip. And he's no better than that. He's no better than those people that make Kickstarters to go on world trips or whatever. It's fucking disgusting at this point. This is really disgusting, if you ask me. And to say that July could be disastrous, he's putting himself in a disastrous situation. So I'm glad. So I don't understand how his fans are just allowing this shit to continue. Like, if I was his fan and he said this to me, I would call his bluff, honestly, because out of all the times that he has begged and begged and begged, and then reading this, I would say, okay, fuck you. I'm not gonna fucking pay your way to go on vacation. And then I like how he says, well, if you think I'm going on vacation, that's fucking bullshit. But look, I think he even says it in this fucking video. I could have sworn he said it. I could have sworn he said it. Maybe I'm seeing things. Maybe I'm just putting words in his mouth. Live streaming. Several days. Dude, I could have sworn he called it a vacation. I could have sworn he did. Okay, never mind. Then never mind. I take that back since I cannot really point out. Maybe if I go back to the pre-stream, he'll say it, but I don't think he said I'm pretty sure he said vacation, but in the realm of debate and argument that could come out of this, I will not call it vacation because he did not call it that in this tweet longer. So I'll be fair, guys. All right. So I think he said it, but whatever. But either way, to say this is like, I'm gonna take time off and ask people for money. Just fuck off. Like really, fuck off with that. That's really shitty to say, I'm gonna take time off, but you need to pay for my time off. Like, fuck you, no. That's just shitty to me. Say that, oh, it's gonna be disastrous, dude. Like, yeah, it's because of you. You chose to do this. So, when I'll need funds readily available to purchase all of the new upcoming releases during the busy fall gaming season. Wow, I thought it was the hardcore gaming season. Now it's the busy fall gaming season. Wow. I guess the terminology changed, guys. It's not hardcore anymore. Thanks in advance for your help and support and understanding. I hope to come back refreshed and ready for daily streams once I return from my time away. Now he will always throw in this I do know because he said in pre-streams, you know, on Wednesday and today, as I'm recording this, he has said, it's not a vacation, I'm gonna be, cleaning the house, I'm gonna be doing this, this is just me not streaming. Then why not take a day off, like you said you were way back when you were with Leanna, remember that? Remember that he was gonna take one day off to be with Leanna? Now he's, well, I gotta take time off. If you're taking time, then if you're doing like house cleaning stuff, then what kind of time? Then how are you gonna be refreshed then? Because that's still work. You still feel exhausted when you do fucking chores and shit. And you know, as soon as he comes back from this time off, he's like, well, it's not really a time off because I did a lot of chores, guys. And, you know, a lot of detractors and negative dicks are saying it's a time off vacation. Yeah, right. These kids need to really grow up, dude. You know, and then he's gonna say, like, a week later or whatever, oh, I'm exhausted. I had to do a lot of chores last night. I had to do laundry, this and that. So it's either a time off or it's not. That's what I really get annoyed with him, is that he takes time off. He says he needs time off, but then tries to downplay the time off by saying he's doing chores, he's doing this and that, and then he's gonna say again how he's doing chores during his normal streaming time or whatever. It's so fucking weird. So it's like, it's either time off or it's not time off. Like, you can't have it both ways. I mean, you can argue that he's doing both, like he's just taking the time to relax while doing chores. Okay, fair enough, but then he could just say it's a time off. He doesn't have to try to downplay it at that point. Call it what it is. Like, he's talking as if his fans are really dumb to not call this a vacation. It is a vacation, and there's nothing, like, to begin with, there's nothing wrong if he owns up to it being a vacation. There's nothing wrong. It's just that people are going to criticize that he's taking vacation during a time that is hard financially on him, and they have every right to complain about that. But to downplay it and to say that it's not what it is kind of shows how weak of a back he has. I know he has a weak back in real life, but figuratively, he has a weak back if he's just not willing to call it what it is. And that's shitty. That's what's shitty about it. And then to beg for money, it's just disgusting. It's disgusting to do that. And he's been getting a lot of cheers on top of that. And I've said this before. I'm not attacking people for donating to him. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that these people who give him money are assholes or anything. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that giving him money in response to this is kind of shitty. If you want to support Phil, that's fine. Support Phil. Support him however you want. But to give him money because this guy is begging you to is not a reason to give him money. To give him money because he wants to go, if he wants to take time off, that's fucking shitty. You shouldn't have to be forced to give him money because he wants it, because he wants to take time off and he feels entitled to it. And he does feel entitled. He's gonna deny it, obviously, because he's fucking DSP. But he does feel entitled. That's why he wrote this tweet longer, thinking he will be able to get away with asking for money. So it's unbelievable that his fans are really this dumb to do this. And on top of that, let's go on to what he says afterwards. Asking viewers to be extra generous because you can't be bothered finding other means to support yourself besides playing video games, and with these emojis. He responds, leaving a tweet like this because you're a jealous dumb fuck. Yes, the guy who made a tweet longer asking for money, begging for money to go on a time off is what we're jealous of. Yeah, I'm really jealous that I cannot beg for money to go on vacation. Guys, I'm really jealous. I'm really jealous that I don't have viewers that are willing to give me money out of the most minimum amount of work. Unbelievable. I mean, that's like, oh my god, man. The nerve. Okay, enough of that. Let's get on to what you guys came here to see. I'm gonna write down the timestamp here. I know, guys, professional. So, 14:03. All right, let's move on. Get rid of that. All right, let's put on my DSP headphones and let's get started. Oh wait, we have to skip this. I forgot. Special patron shoutouts. Not gonna do that. What do you do with all the energy, adrenaline, if you quit being a pro player? What kind of question is that? What do you do with all that energy if you... Well, I guess he's asking what would you do with all that time that you would get if you quit playing games? I don't know. I don't even know how to answer that myself, so let's see how he answers.
Let's keep going. Next question is from Young Wobbles. The question is as follows.
Young Wobbles.
Feel like yourself, I'm a former competitive fighting game player. Excuse me. I completely stuck a word in there that did not belong. Let's try that again. Like yourself, I'm a former competitive video game player in the Madden NFL series in particular. I recently left the competitive scene last year, and I'm kind of feeling like my competitive spirit is still burning. My question is, after leaving the competitive Street Fighter community, what did you do to manage your energy? Do you still get the itch to compete? Also, do you have any suggestions for me and others like me that we feel that we're missing out on that rush of adrenaline that competitive gaming gets you? Thanks and have a great day. Well, for me, when I quit competitive, thanks now. Also, the Street Fighter community, I'm kind of feeling like my competitive NFL series in particular. I recently left the competitive scene last year, and I'm kind of feeling like my competitive spirit is still burning. My question is, after leaving the competitive...
Then why did you leave? I'm sorry, if Young Wobbles, why did you leave if you still have the burn to compete? Like, Skullgirls is arguably dead on PS4. I mean, I think it probably has a bigger community on PC, but it has a very weak community on PS4. I still have the urge to play that game, and I still play that fucking game. I don't care if it's survival mode and the single player or whatever. I play that game because I want to fucking play it. I don't just quit a game. Unless it's like taking way too much time, then I kind of have to force myself off to do other things. But I still play a game if I have the urge to play it. That's why I still play MGS5. I beat that game multiple times. I still delete my save file so I can experience that game cold again. Like with completely like, so I can see the same cutscenes that I can't see anymore, etc., etc. Why did you stop playing games, Young Wobbles? That doesn't make any sense. Why?
Street Fighter community, what did you do to manage your energy? Do you still get the itch to compete? Also, do you have any suggestions for me and others like me that we feel that we're missing out on that rush of adrenaline that competitive gaming gets you?
My suggestion is if you absolutely cannot participate in video games anymore or whatever at a competitive level, find another hobby. Find another hobby that can take the same amount of time. Like, try doing art. Try doing new things. Try doing new things constantly. Then, like, I love doing drawing when I was in like high school and stuff. I had this big urge to do it. I still have a drive to draw, but when I get either a little bit bored or a little bit winded, I try to find another hobby. And then I went to video games, and then I tried other genres of video games once I got bored of the same stuff. Then I tried watching some movies that I've never seen before to kind of fill my time. And all this other stuff, you have to find other hobbies and other things to do. Maybe try to create a video. Like, that's the other thing, like, you could try to do.
Thanks and have a great day. Well, for me, when I quit competitive gaming pretty much in 2007, I said I wanted to refocus my efforts into something else that maybe I had been neglecting because I had been so hardcore into the competitive gaming. And for me, it was all the other freaking games, right? Because from this time span of like the late 90s to 2007, I had pretty much been ignoring all these mainstream console games and development of consoles in general. I missed the entire GameCube era. I missed almost the entire PS2 era. I was busy playing Street Fighter. And I said I'm going to get hardcore back into it, so I ended up buying an Xbox 360. I bought a PS3. I went out there. I just started buying up and playing games that people were telling me were like the best games for these. I played Grand Theft Auto 4. I played Mass Effect. I played Uncharted. I played a bunch of RPGs. I played Tales of Vesperia, Lost Odyssey. There's a ton of shit. Blue Dragon. I played a ton of shit that I completely missed out on while I was only playing Street Fighter. And I got my... was it the rush of adrenaline? No. But I really felt like I was refocusing all those energies towards something else that was actually just as fun. And then, of course, when YouTube blew up, and I decided to do YouTube, that was where I took that... all that effort and dedication I used to put towards competitive Street Fighter, redirected it, and pushed it towards YouTube. And the rest is history, right?
That's the amount of energy you put into Street Fighter. By judging your YouTube channel, then you must have been a terrible fighter, because like his channels are like Zero effort, zero everything. Like, there's nothing unique or anything. There's nothing on DSP Gaming that says that he put time and effort into that channel. He put more time and effort in KO Gaming than DSP Gaming. I do mean that. I generally do mean that. That he put more time and effort in KO Gaming ever than he did in DSP Gaming as a whole. Because there's no way that he put effort in that channel. No way. None. Like, with that logic, then I must be the hardest working person on the planet when I play a video game or something. I don't know. That's just dumb to say that. Like, oh, I put all my effort into my gaming channel. Yeah, that's bullshit, dude. Even his vlogging channel has more effort done than his gaming channel. His gaming channel has zero effort. Zero. I really... If you're gonna disagree with me on that, that's fine, I guess. But I really don't. I doubt that. I really doubt that I don't agree that DSP Gaming shows an ounce of effort. There's no effort in that channel outside of playing fucking video games.
Do I still get an itch to play Street Fighter? Absolutely. Right now, recently, I've been playing Ultra Street Fighter 2. And I'm having the worst time because the connections online on the Switch are terrible. The controls are awful. You can't even play it like you're supposed to. And I'm like, man, I remember the day.
If you had the itch to play Street Fighter, then why did you just kill Street Fighter 5 then? Like, let's take this answer that he had with this and pretend we live in a world where Ultra Street Fighter 2 did not exist and all we had was Street Fighter 5. He would not be playing Street Fighter 5. So that makes no sense. That makes no sense what he just said with that, because it's shallow. Because, like, and he even said if he didn't get a Switch, he wouldn't play Ultra Street Fighter 2. So what would his answer be at that point?
Back in the day, I'm jumping.
If he had the itch to play Street Fighter, then why did he just quit 5? If anything, if he hated 5 so much, he could just go back to 4. 4 still has a community, actually. I've played some online matches in Street Fighter 4. It still has people playing it.
Over someone with DJ, and I'm hitting medium kick. And I'm remembering, for a span of 3 years when I played competitive Street Fighter, not once did I ever drop my crossover combo with DJ. Crossover medium kick, 2 low jabs, standing medium punch, into the spinning Sabat kick. That was a staple move, and everyone was like, holy shit, every time Phil jumps over you, he gets that fucking combo no matter what. Like,
oh,
he
yeah,
never drops it.
Sure. Everyone, like, fucking drinking off his glory days, but he also did not play that game years. Like, it's been years since he played Street Fighter 2. So when he picked Ultra Street Fighter 2, after playing all these fighting games, all these other games, of course he would get rusty. I mean, like Skullgirls, there was a point where I was like really good with Eliza. I was like a beast with Eliza in comparison with people my level. I stopped playing Skullgirls for a while because I was playing other games and I got caught up in other stuff as well. So I stopped playing that game. I'm playing the game now, and I'm nowhere near as good as I was with Eliza because I'm so rusty with her. I am still learning her timings again. I have to like learn her one of her combos I love doing, and I always use this when I was good with her, was the I don't remember the name, but like if you do like medium punch, then light punch, medium punch, and then heavy punch, she has like these stairway attack. I used to time that perfectly. And now it's like when I do it, it's like I miss the timing or whatever. And it's because I got rusty with that character. I totally dropped a lot of moves that I used to not drop. Because you get rusty. So, of course he's dropping combos as DJ years later because he has not played Street Fighter 2 in so long. So how does he expect to keep the same fucking timing from back then? He's a different Phil from then. What a fucking idiot. He doesn't know how anything works. Get the fuck out of here.
I can't even get it fucking once in this game online.
Because you haven't played the game in so long.
I wish I could play, and I think back to when I was playing Super Turbo on Cabinet at Howard's house with everyone with the Don't Blow This days and how fun that was. And I still get the itch every once in a while. But the bottom line is, do I want to sacrifice the time and the effort and the money that it would take to get back into the scene? Right now, as I've said earlier on Ask the King, I live about 45 minutes away from like downtown Seattle, Washington. I know that at universities and other places in Seattle, there's competitive Street Fighter, and they're holding tournaments for games that I would play. They have Super Turbo, they have, you know, things Ultra Street Fighter 2. They do this. Okay, so I'm gonna go to a tournament. So no streaming today. Okay, I'm gonna drive 45 minutes one way, have to pay for parking somewhere. Obviously, pay for food.
What if during his vacation or time off, he's going to participate in a fighting game tournament? Dude, what if he's doing that? What if he does that, he wins, he comes back the next day and says, look what I got, guys! I got... Dude, he's gonna brag about... If he is going to a tournament, and he wins a trophy, you bet the house he's gonna brag about it. There's no way he's not gonna fucking brag about winning a tournament if he is going to a tournament.
Pay entry fee, wait all day to finally play a few matches. You know what I mean? See what I mean? It's like when the ideal state of that high you get when you're playing high-level competitive play in a video game is cool, but there's so much sacrifice around it.
Yeah, imagine if he had a girlfriend, and his girlfriend could drive him to the tournament, drop him off, and then he can just do whatever he wants, so that she can come and pick him up, so they don't have to pay for parking. If only, right?
To get that at this point in my life, you know, I don't even think I would do it, honestly. Maybe if things improved, like I said, I would consider it. Let's say, for example, I'll give you an example. Let's say 2 years pass. Things go well, my Twitch presence here increases. I'm doing good money-wise. I'm able to refinance my house. I get a ton.
He was bragging about how he's making like 50% on Twitch or something. Like his Twitch is like really like taking off. And he said this recently, not in Ask the King. I'm saying like recently in pre-streams that he was like saying, "Oh man, Twitch is really holding up for me and all this shit." And then now he's getting a lot more. He's getting more bits and tips and shit because he begged. He asked for more money and they gave him more money.
Ton of my debt out of my name. Now I'm freed up. Maybe I'll go to Evo just for once, one more time to get it out of my system. I'll let everyone know I'm going. So those who are Super Turbo players who want to get together and play can play me. We'll all play. We'll have one final Super Turbo tournament, and we'll just go to town with it or whatever. Yeah, I would love to do that, but right now I can't do that. Okay. But to answer your question, Young Wobbles, try to find something else creative or something interesting.
See how quickly I was able to give Young Wobbles the answer? Well, it took him like 5 minutes. Like, when did this question start? 2 minutes, so 3 minutes or so to get to the answer.
Take that energy that you had for the competitive gaming and focus it, and that's what I do with YouTube. Because a lot of people are like, Phil, why? For years there, 2-3 years, you did YouTube, you know, for nothing. Why? And the answer is, well, I had this energy. Why? And the answer is, there, 2-3 years, that's what I did with YouTube. Because a lot of people are like, Phil, why? For years there, 2-3 years, you did YouTube, you know, for nothing. Why? And the answer is, well, I had this energy to focus towards something positive. It used to be Street Fighter, and when I decided to stop doing that, I realized, oh my God, the realm of possibilities of things that are out there that I could do, and it just so happened it was the same time period as YouTube exploding, and like I said, the rest is history. So find something that you can do that would be a creative outlet for you so you can refocus those competitive energies. Especially if you're like me and you were totally burnt out and you feel sad because you miss that feeling and you still have people in the community who talk to you and stuff. They're like, man, I wish you would come back. I hear you. I'm in the same situation, but for me, it's like, I gotta focus on my own shit and get...
How are you in that situation? I thought the FGC hates you. You said the FGC hates you.
Shit together and try to do other stuff that's positive rather than Street Fighter, because I've been there, done that, and there's just other things in my life that I want to do. Okay.
Yeah, why not balance your life, right?
So. Oh, sorry. Eyes itching here. Okay. Derek, who's a frequent stream viewer, actually had a few questions. I pick and chose the ones I wanted to answer for him, because he had a ton, and I only picked and chose like 4 of them. First of all, he says, I was wondering, now that you're replaying Red Dead Redemption, what do you think of it on a scale from 1 to 10? I'll be
honestly, there's really hold on.
Honest. I'm not enjoying it as much as I did when I played it the first time, only because I know what's going to happen. but I still really like the game.
But didn't he say he was doing the game because it might be a new experience for him?
Graphics, surprisingly enough, 7 years later, still hold up to other modern games, which is crazy when you think about that. The gameplay is good. The story is good. The characters are good. The side content, I'm getting immersed in playing poker and blackjack and five-finger fillet and all this. I'm having fun with it. So I would still, to this day, Red Dead Redemption was my game of the year in 2010. I would still, at this point, probably still give it like an 8 or a 9. It's that good of a game, man. It is. It's just
that good
really
of a game.
Solid, fun. By the way, there's tons of online play that I'm probably not going to do this time, but there's so much to it. It's still a great, robust game that holds up in this day. So definitely a great game. Okay. Second question: Am I planning on Am I planning on playing the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy? Yes. Am I going to play it immediately tomorrow? No.
No.
What I think I'll do is I'll try to beat Red Dead Redemption and see when I finish it. If I finish it in the next few days, then yes, maybe I'll jump right into Crash 3 and play that. And then maybe start Dark Souls 2 before I take my time off in mid-July. But I'm not going to be playing it tomorrow on release day. But I am interested in playing it once I finish Red Dead Redemption. Okay? Okay. Third question. I have 3 playthroughs of yours that I've really enjoyed watching in my spare time. Back to the Future, LA...
My 3 favorite playthroughs done that I've seen: Street Fighter V, Injustice 2, and Ultra Street Fighter 2. Basically any fighting game he plays, I enjoy because it's just fun. It's fun to watch. I like watching fighting games.
Noir and your Grim Fandango remastered playthroughs. What would you rate those 3 playthroughs individually out of 10 in the gameplay? See, this is subjective. I think the best story out of all 3 is LA Noire. But the gameplay of LA Noire is kind of all you're doing is looking for clues. It's not necessarily the most riveting gameplay, but the story itself is very interesting.
But it's better than Until Dawn and your other fucking narrative
Interesting
games.
and riveting. Back to the Future, if you're a fan of the Back to the Future movies, that game is absolutely amazing to watch because you have, the characters from the movies continuing the plotline from the movies, which is great. But if you're not a fan of Back to the Future, that playthrough's terrible because really it's just a Telltale game. This was before Telltale games even became mainstream popular.
What? So I have to be a fan of the game to like it, but like, whatever.
Fandango Remastered is more for a niche audience. For people who really like that exploratory, try every possibility puzzle style game. And it was fun, but I would say probably out of those 3, it's actually my least favorite of all 3 of those games. So I'd probably rank it LA Noire, Back to the Future, Grim Fandango. But if you're not a fan of Back to the Future, then I'd probably say LA Noire, Grim Fandango.
I just like how he's rating them, but like the question asks for his opinion, so he could just rate it for himself. Like, oh yeah, like this and this and this. Why is he rating this in the preference of the viewer? That makes no fucking sense.
Fandango, Back to the Future. There you go.
Makes no fucking sense. But whatever.
Okay. Final question. He says, do you have the option to watch ads for bits? I'm surprised I don't have it. I was talking to...
Okay, we're not watching this. This is a fucking chill segment. Fuck that. Oh, how do I get bits, dude? I don't understand. How does that work? Yeah, okay, Derek. Sure. You don't know how that works. Uh-huh.
Alright.
Oh, this question was... What was my first Spider-Man video game and comic book? I didn't read the comics. I never really liked Spider-Man. I thought he looked wimpy. The video game I played was Spider-Man 2 because I heard everyone loved it. So I played it. I liked it, and then I think I fucked my game over by, there was a mission you had to do, but you had to do something before that. You had to get some upgrade skill or something before you could do it. But if you do the mission without getting that upgrade skill, you cannot go back to get that upgrade skill. Otherwise, or you just have to replay the entire game. And there were a lot of stuff in that game I hated doing, and I was like, I don't want to fucking re-experience all this stuff because I missed one upgrade thing. And I think it was it was a guy like looking alien. That was the mission. He was like in the Manhattan or whatever somewhere. It was really fucking weird. I don't really remember. I just remember I got stuck and I could not get the upgrade skill because I did not unlock it yet or something. And I was like, why would they make a mission that's like, it was really fucking dumb, and I stopped playing after that because it was a brick wall for me. Then I played Spider-Man 3, and then I played it like for like 5 minutes, and I was like, fuck this game, and got rid of it. So there you go, there you have it. I only played the shitty Spider-Man games. Well, one shitty Spider-Man game, one good one, but then I fucked up my my game. So
next question is from Christian Osborne, 1996. He says, with the Spider-Man movie coming out soon, what was your first ever Spider-Man game that you played and the first Spider-Man comic that you read way before you became a part of YouTube? The first Spider-Man game I ever played was on the Atari 2600 called Spider-Man. It's the same piece of shit that the Angry Video Game Nerd played in his review of it. It is really bad. That game is terrible. I only played it because my uncle owned it and he let me borrow it, and I hated that game. The first Spider-Man comics I ever read were actually a Spider-Man crossover. It was when Todd McFarlane was drawing Spider-Man at the time, and it was the crossover between Spider-Man and the X-Men, and Spider-Man fought Juggernaut. And I read that comic, and I was like, wow, I really like how Spider-Man has these quips and these jokes that he says during his combat. I'd like to learn more about the character. So I jumped over and started reading Spider-Man. And incidentally, that was about the time that the Maximum Carnage major crossover event was happening between all of the Spider-Man books. So I ended up buying and reading the entire Maximum Carnage comic book line of a plot line, what I meant to say. And I actually really enjoyed it. If anything, the only thing I didn't like, there was no real resolution. At the end of Maximum Carnage, Carnage gets stopped, but not permanently. It's like so lame. It's just like the whole thing didn't happen. But it was good. And then after that, for some years, I read Spider-Man a little bit more, but then I kind of fell out. I went just back to the X-Men. So even though I am a fan of Spider-Man, I'm not a huge fan. I don't know anything about most of the stuff of his storylines. Okay. The last question from the forums, then we got just a few from the...
I think he said he was a huge fan.
Okay. Huge fan. I don't know anything. I fell out. I went just back to the X-Men. So even though I am a fan of Spider-Man, I'm not a huge fan. I don't know anything about most of the stuff.
I thought he said I was a huge fan of Spider-Man. I was like, what the fuck?
Okay. The last question from the forums. Then we got just a few from the Twitter, and then
the Twitter. You didn't like how you said that? Okay. So the next question is, why do I feel that video games need definitive stories to be good? Oh my god, here we go. The fucking bullshit train is here. Okay, so here's the thing. Why do I feel that video games need definitive stories to be good? He's asking Phil. For me, as long as the story is good, as long as as I enjoy the ending and the ride to get there, I'm fine. A lot of people did not like the ending to MGS5. I'm gonna use that as an example. I can understand that. I can understand why people don't like that ending. I like that ending. I appreciate that ending. I think that the story could have been better, obviously, but I liked the ending because, you know, it was kind of a, you know, because you wanted to be a big boss and all this stuff, and the game kind of said you're big boss with that ending, and I just liked it. I liked it. It was a big, risky ending. It was a risk for Kojima to do that, because that ending would obviously piss a lot of people off, which it did. And I like that. I like that this ending wasn't something that was kind of safe or was like, oh, and Big Boss went on to do this that you expect him to do in the prequel. Like, because like when you do a prequel, it's nice to see a story that's kind of unexpected in it, that's still like that fits, and it still fit. MGS5 still fits in the timeline for me. Because it's just like do I really want to see the stuff that the games have explained to me already? Like, do I need to see Big Boss meet up with Naomi? Do I need to see him with Sniper Wolf? I don't really need to see those things, because I knew those happened. I would be more interested in seeing stuff that I did not know happened, that happened. And that's what I liked about the ending, is I liked that it was something that was totally unexpected, and it was something that can still be debated to be logical for the story, because you see Big Boss 2 times in Metal Gear 1 and 2, and that's fine. That's the kind of endings I like. I like endings that, if I enjoy the ending, if I enjoy the whole story, the story's good to me then. Stories are all subjective, and they're all opinionated. That's what makes stories interesting. That's what makes movies interesting, is that you have this discussion. I don't like and that's the thing, is that's what I don't like about movies and some games that try to tell a very safe story that Phil likes, is that there's no conversations to be had. When you watch, like, Captain America, for example, those are good movies, but you leave the story and you're just like, yeah, the story is very straightforward and simple. There's nothing to really discuss in the realms of like, you know, what does this mean? There's no symbolic meanings in those movies unless the only some symbolism that are there are kind of like to allude to other stories or other things, which is fine. That works too. But it's just I don't know. Maybe that's not a good example, I guess. But like, there's not a lot of discussion with it. It's a realm of like 2001: Space Odyssey, where people can always discuss some of the symbolism in that movie, and there's no definitive way to settle on it. But that's what I liked about it. I liked games and movies that take a lot of risks that cause discussion, and that's what I like. I don't think stories and games need definitive endings. I just think that it would be nice to have a definitive ending, but I don't want one that comes up as forced and shoehorned. Like MGS4 has a very shoehorned and forced story to kind of conclude things, and I didn't like that as much because it answered too many questions that could have just been left for interpretation.
Then we're going to wrap it up. So from the Will of Darkside, he says, Phil, I've noticed that you seem to intensely dislike games that don't explain everything outright. But
yeah, because he doesn't want to think. He doesn't want to think about what happened. And that's what that pisses me off about him when he plays these indie titles, that he slams the game for daring to make you think. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Let the player figure it out themselves.
I get this.
The games like Journey, Inside, Little Nightmares, and The Last Guardian to an extent. You call it lazy game design, but I tend to disagree. My question is twofold. First of all, why do you dislike this kind of games so much? And why do you feel the game should stop everything for a cutscene or a note dialogue to explain the story, rather than allow the player to put it together themselves through exploration and observation?
Yeah, why should the game let you just have fun and that's the other thing, like with games that leave you for interpretation, allow you to replay the game and get a new experience each time, and you might get something out of it. Like, I mean, I can't think of a game on the top of my head, but I think there's a few games that I got that out of, but I can't think of them now, which is great. But it leads to replayability because you'll replay it to try to understand it. Well, I don't like if I get a game that just explains everything, then I better hope to God the gameplay is fun enough to make me replay it. Otherwise, I'll just never replay it. If the gameplay is fucking boring and the story explains everything.
Okay.
Take a sip. Chew the water.
Alright, let me explain.
Let me explain. Yeah, explain.
Here's why I don't like it. Let's say you're reading a book. Right, book costs anywhere from $5 to what, $20. If you're buying it brand new, $30 or something. If you buy the hardcover, most people don't, by the way.
Yeah, people don't buy the hardcover. Yeah, okay, sure, Phil.
Let's say you're watching a movie. Okay, $5 rental. At the most, you go to the movies, you spent $20, right, on a ticket. And you're getting a digestible entertainment experience. All right, there are certain types of stories that I feel lend themselves to not having a definitive story or a coherent answer to everything. Horror movies, for example. One of the
horror movies? That's your go-to? Get the
reason that horror movies scare people on a psychological level is because a lot of the times not everything gets explained by the end of the movie. So you always have this lingering fear in the back of your head what's going to happen. For example, the end of The Ring. You don't know if the actions that were taking place during the movie will definitively end the killing spree of this ghost. You think they might, but it might not.
Okay, I'll give him that. That's actually a good example. Okay, I can actually agree with that. That is kind of scary when things don't get answered. So never mind. So
there's always this terror in the back of your head.
You said something that makes sense.
Did this fix the situation or not? Okay, I like that. Okay, horror movies are the exception.
For once, he said something that I kind of agreed with, except for like, oh, only horror movies. So 2001: A Space Odyssey is a horror movie now because it doesn't explain anything? Get the fuck out of here. I mean, it explains things, sure, but it's a very abstract experience. It's an experience.
As a rule, when you're watching a story for entertainment, you want a coherent ending. You just don't want a cliffhanger. You don't want something that doesn't fully explain what happened. You want something...
But a lot of movies end with cliffhangers. Like, when they plan... That's how you know when they're planning a fucking sequel. Like, a story can't end with a cliffhanger. You can have it that way. Or, like, if you want to do something that's a little bit more abstract, you can have it that way as well. It all depends on the story that you're telling. If you're gonna tell, like... if Captain America ended on a huge cliffhanger, that was like well, no, Captain America does end on a cliffhanger basically. But if you have like a one-off movie that's like an action movie that's supposed to be like a simple like by the numbers action movie that's only gonna be a one-off thing, and you end it with a cliffhanger, yeah, that might suck, but
something that definitively you have an idea.
Whatever.
One movie in particular that everyone to this day still debate the ending is the movie
sure.
Inception.
Yeah, Inception. Again, he goes to these mainstream fucking examples. He doesn't bring up 2001: Space Odyssey, which is a great movie, by the way. I love that movie. I've watched that movie and it aged pretty well. Like the special effects in that movie still look good to this day, and it's great. It's a great movie. I really recommend that movie.
End of Inception, it's very unclear what's going on. You don't realize if at the end of the movie, if the main characters are still in a dream, or if they're outside of a dream, or if they're in the interim. You can't figure it out, and it's basically open to interpretation. Now, I believe they actually interviewed the director, and he gave his definitive answer, but he says you can interpret it differently, and that's okay. But
so then, if the director gave the definitive answer, then the discussions are over. No one's talking about that movie anymore.
Here's the thing, all right? When I'm buying a game, this is something that's going to take up hours and hours of my time. In a lot of cases, you're dropping $60 to play a video game. It's more time investment.
But with these indie games, they're not $60. Journey wasn't $60. Inside, I don't think was $60. I don't think it was. Someone might correct me on that, which is fine. What else? I mean, there's a lot of indie games that were not $60.
More effort, because you're not just sitting there watching or reading. You're actually putting your gameplay skill into the game to get to the end of that game, right?
Yeah, but it's not that fucking hard, though. Like, if it's a fun game, oh my god, dude. This is like another level of laziness right here. I play video games. I stay on my ass, and holding down buttons is really hard. So they need to tell me everything, okay? I'm entitled to that because I'm pushing buttons. Oh my god. Are you fucking kidding me?
It's all designed
What the fuck?
to make what's supposed to be a coherent whole. And when I play a game and I get to the end and I have no fucking clue what I just played or what was going on, I get pissed. Because I
get pissed because I do not get told what anything means, and I have to think when I play a video game. I'm pressing buttons as it is, and now I have to think? Wow, fuck this game. What is this logic? If he talks about it at a price range, I could understand that better. I can understand paying $60. I could understand that more. I can understand where he's coming from with that if he just said that. But he did not just say that. He said, because I'm spending hours of my time and effort to playing the video game to get to the ending, and I did not get an ending that made sense to me, now I'm pissed. It's like, you fucking, like, are pressing buttons. That's all you do in a fucking video game. That's like...
I put my time and effort and skill plus...
Skill! Yeah, it takes skill to play fucking Inside. Sure, buddy. And Journey, yeah, Journey takes a lot of skill. Okay.
My money into something, and I didn't feel that
Again, if he just said money, I'd understand better. I give him at least some ounce of respect, but I kind of give him a point for that. But everything else in that made no fucking sense, and it doesn't have any bearing on that to me. Like, oh yeah, I sit down and play, but you're playing video games as a downtime thing. That's the point of fucking video games. So, oh my god, dude, this fucking guy.
I got what I was supposed to get out of it. Dude, games, just like movies, just like books, have many things. Yes, there's graphics. Yes, there's gameplay, but there's also story. If I didn't understand the story, one of the things of the game, the critical parts of the game, was a fail for me when I'm reading it.
I mean, like I can understand him not liking these think games, these games that cause you to think. I can understand not liking that because I know people who don't like movies that make you think and stuff like that. I literally know people that don't like movies if they make you think. I do know that. I do know people that just like that, which is fine, I guess, for them. But it's just the thing is that it's one thing to say like I don't like these movies and that's it, never touching them. But that's another thing like these people are fucking hacks and insulting them for them making a product that they wanted to make. You know, it's like that just is kind of annoying. Like I know someone who doesn't like Fargo because Fargo is a movie that kind of has these things that kind of make you think, but whatever.
When I'm reading the job that those game developers did, I should understand what I'm fucking playing. The games in particular that Will of Darkside bring up, Journey, Inside, Little Nightmares, and Last Guardian, yeah, well, Last Guardian I would say made sense. Last Guardian actually kind of made sense. There's a few plot holes, but for the most part, that game makes sense.
Plot holes.
The other three, no, they don't. Those games on face value.
But people do understand Inside. They play the game and they were able to get the ending. So what do you say about that, Phil?
Value don't make sense. You need to either figure something out in your head for yourself, or actually ask the game developers what the fuck was the actual plot. Because there's no way, there's no dialogue, there's nothing written in those games that explains definitively what's going on in those games.
Yeah, because in Inside, I've seen some stuff of Inside, and they tell the story visually. It's a visual story. Because you can sit there like, okay, well I need to play that game, because I don't really know much about it. I just know that this boy walks around through, environments that are black and white and stuff. That's all I know of Inside. But like, I mean, the screenshots kind of tell a story. When you look at a screenshot, you kind of get a gist of what's going on in the background if you pay attention and think. But can't think of video games. Games have to tell you everything, every single thing. The games have to tell you.
Me angry is I spent my money and my time and my effort and everything on this, and I didn't get one of the core pieces of what should have been a part of this game. Now, there may be people out there who are okay with that, and that's fine. I'm just not that kind of person. For me, I want a game that's going to deliver everything, not a game that was great.
Okay, that's fine. But the biggest issue I have with him, as I said before, I might be drilling in a point at this point, hammering in a point at this part, but he goes out of his way to insult the game developers who make those games. He's like, "Oh, it's fine if you like it," but then he slams the developers for making it. Like, okay.
Great gameplay. Wow, beautiful visuals. Oh, it pulled at the heartstrings and gave me the feels, but I don't know what the
feels. Oh my god. A 35-year-old man using the term feels. Get the fuck out of here. I think people who use that are really annoying because you just say, "Oh, I feel emotions here. This part was very emotional for me." But I said they use feels because, oh man, it's funny. Man, feels.
The fuck I just played for 5 hours. You know what I mean? And a lot of these games are like that, and that's why I
35-year-old man
put
using feels.
in a game like, let me give you an example, Little Nightmares. They could have put text on the fucking screen. It would have been no effort at all. Text on the fucking screen during loading screens to explain the plot, and the game would have been infinitely better. But let's not. Let's just do the lowest possible amount of fucking effort, right?
Lowest amount of effort, but Phil, it takes a lot of effort to tell a story without text. Like, that's what I like about 2001: Space Odyssey a lot, is because it kind of drops you into this movie. It makes you think a lot, and it explains very little. It has dialogue in the movie, sure, but the dialogue kind of is more situational and is between characters. Like, it makes you think. But it takes a lot of effort to do that. Get the fuck out of here.
And that's what pisses me off. Because there's games out there with great stories, amazing gameplay, and those games get panned for some stupid little rinky-dink reason, while games like these, all of a sudden, they're artistic. They're artistic because there's no defined story. 10 out of 10.
No one gives these artsy games 10 out of 10s. This is an exaggeration, but the thing is with these artsy games that they review them on what they are. And this is what I've always told people when there's this debate about are video games art. Video games can be art, but not all of them are, obviously. Like, when you look at Call of Duty or Madden, they're not art. Those aren't art. Art is the reason why they call these games all Inside and all that stuff is because it uses the medium differently. It's kind of the kind of games that John McIntosh jerks off to because he loves those games. He doesn't like games that are not art. He doesn't like playing those games because he thinks video games are art only or whatever, which is fucking retarded. But like, video games can be art, and it can also be mindless fun, and it can also just be a mix of the two. So when reviewers are reviewing Inside and all this stuff, they're reviewing it in the way of a kind of a game as far as gameplay is concerned, but then they look at it as like, you know, well, the story is very good for what it is because it's art and all this stuff. And yeah, if you're looking for Call of Duty from Inside, you're gonna be fucking disappointed.
Fuck you. If you do that in a review,
He just said, if you like that, that's fine. That's fine. It's okay if you like these think pieces, but 10 out of 10, fuck you. Yeah. What?
You're not a real reviewer. You're
not a real reviewer.
Fartsy fucking hipster piece of shit.
Hipster piece of shit. Shut up! Stop! You just said it was fine for people to like it. You liar.
And you shouldn't review games. You should go to an art gallery sipping.
Remember, it's fine if you like artsy games and give them and if you like them. Remember, it's okay to like them, but if you give them good reviews, fuck you. You're a fucking idiot hipster piece of shit. Okay, Phil. Okay.
Your fucking caramel macchiato. You know what I mean? With your
Caramel
fucking bald head,
macchiato.
with your giant fucking
Jesus.
disgusting Paul Bunyan beard, or your stupid weird ass tattoos.
What the fuck is this? What? He just said it was fine to like this game, and then he goes on this huge rate against them. Like, randomly. That's like oh man. It's like if I'm doing a Q&A and or someone asks me like, oh, what do you think of bad YouTubers? Like, oh, bad YouTubers are the worst. Like, hey, no, it's like, damn, I can't think of a good example. That's embarrassing. I think I had one. I think it's like if someone asked me, what's my opinion on YouTubers or streamers that, you know, kind of play, who kind of play games for money or whatever, and then like, well, you know, they can play video games for money and that's fine as long as, you know, as you know, they're enjoying it. But fuck them if they're playing games for money and, oh yeah, let me just sit in front of a TV and play fucking video games all day. Like see how weird that fucking sounds? Like, and I've said this before, I want to clarify now that I said that, is it's fine that he wants to make money off of him playing video games. I'm not really against that, but I'm against him doing the most minimal amount of work and expecting to get a lot of money out of it. He doesn't edit his gameplay videos. He begs for money, that kind of shit. That shit is what I don't like about him. And that's why I don't think he deserves the money, because he's such a fucking scummy asshole. Like, it was, like, Game Grumps makes money off of their Let's Play channel. I'm fine with them making money off their Let's Play channel.
And dyed color hair, and go to the rest of the planet and stay away from us humans who actually like normal shit. Go over there and leave us alone. Because we don't need to be told that an indie game that's $30 and only 5 hours of gameplay and no definitive story is a 10 out of 10 because you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, fuck you for sharing the opinion of the game, your opinion about a game that I don't like. How dare you, fucking asshole? Leave the planet and never say anything good about the games I like. You fucking assholes, fucking hipsters, piece of shit, caramel macchiatos, you know, hipster stereotypes. Oh man, so pissed. Get the fuck out of here, Phil. Calm the fuck down.
Okay.
Wow. Wow.
Now on to the Twitter questions. First question.
Okay, Twitter questions. What do I think of Canada? Oh, my thoughts of Canada is that it's a cool place. Probably they're probably full of good people. I did take a Canadian Studies class in college once. I don't know why. It was like one of the requirements I had to take. So I took it, and the only thing I was reading was that their politics seemed more geared to they sound like they actually give a shit about their citizens. There's some stuff in their government that is kind of shitty, obviously, but they seem more to give a shit about their citizens than like the American government in some ways. But whatever. I mean, we don't have to get into that. That might spark some debates probably, but.
Question is from King Lunar, and he says, "What do you think of Canada?" Well, I've only been to Canada once. In fact, Wait a minute. Another question I picked off Twitter was a similar question. Shit. I've only been to Canada once. The Canada that I've been to was Newfoundland. This is a very small fishing area in northeastern Canada, and it's very isolated and not like a lot of other Canada.
I don't know.
From what I saw there, it was very local, very kind of...
Local. Look, guys.
I can't put my finger on it. It wasn't industrialized very much. It was like a wharf town. And it was nice, don't get me wrong. It was a nice place, but I certainly wouldn't want to live there, especially because they get a ton of snow in the winter. Now, from what I understand, Canada has a lot of nice places. Canada, and Vancouver in particular, is very close to me here in Seattle. It's only like a 2-3 hour flight up to Vancouver, and I understand that Vancouver is like a really nice tourist area in Canada. I would like to check that out for sure. A lot of people, for some reason, are prejudiced against Canadians. I don't know why.
What?
The few Canadians that I've
met...
How
are people prejudiced against Canadians? Is he talking about, like, people who make jokes about Canadians? Like, these jokes that are, like, obviously, like, not serious or mean-spirited? Like, whatever.
We're Street Fighter players who were very competitive, but I never, like, disliked them. You know what I mean? So Canada, I'm cool with...
What? There were people in Street Fighter that were... I never disliked them. That's a weird thing to say. He's like, oh, people are prejudiced against Canadians. I think that he has a prejudice against Canadians. Because who fucking says, oh, there's prejudice against Canadians, which is weird, I don't understand it. But there were some Canadians in the Street Fighter community. I never disliked them. Like, what?
With it, I would like to visit there someday. That's what I think of Canada. There you go.
It's such a weird
thing
to say.
Next question from Pimp Kong.
Okay, Pimp Kong, what do you have? How often do I consider playing retro games? Good spelling there, Phil. I like retro games. I play them when I'm when I feel like them.
He says, how often do you consider playing retro games? Well, here's the thing. First of all, retro. Just the term retro games doesn't mean the same for everyone else. When I think retro games, I think games from the 1980s and 90s, and to some extent maybe the early 2000s. But I'm really thinking the core games, like NES games, Super NES.
Yeah, I'm gonna think PS3 games are retro. Like, yeah, there's a new generation, but those games are not retro for them probably until like the PS5 and the PS6 come in, around those generations.
Games, Genesis, that era to me feels like retro because that's what I grew up with as a kid, and that's what I like to think of as a throwback. A lot of people are younger than me, and they don't think that's not retro. That's ancient history. We don't want to see that. I like to see Phil play PS1 and 2 era games. That's retro to them. You know what I mean? So the term retro itself, I'm not even sure what you would be referring to when you're talking about video games, all right?
Maybe they're talking about your preference, Phil.
How often do I consider playing retro games? Well, it depends. Usually if there's new releases coming out, I wouldn't consider playing a retro game. Retro games are really more for downtime and filling time. For example, the summer right now, when I have time to go back and do something from the past. Sadly, and I hate to say this, a lot of the games that I would like to go back and play, you know, PS1 era games like Suikoden, stuff like that. Super NES games.
Okay, honestly, I'll say this as well. I like seeing his fighting games. I love seeing him play fighting games, but I also enjoy watching him play classic like PS1 and 64 games. Those are kind of fun too to watch. But he'll never play them. He won't give us the salt.
4. I've never had a chance to play, and why? Because honestly, the games that I feel are retro and I'd like to play, people don't seem to like amongst my viewers. I don't understand that. I know my viewers love.
Then why are people asking you to play Crash? Why are people asking you to play Jak 3? Oh man, I don't know.
AAA games. They love me covering the new releases. They don't necessarily really like me playing these games from the past.
Take a sip. Chew the water.
And it really does suck because the thing is,
chew the water.
You know, I think that they're actually some of my best playthroughs. And I know that amongst my most hardcore fan base, those who are here all the time to support me, they love that stuff. Because when I play a game that I've played before and I love, they're like, wow, Phil's making references to things in the game. He knows this game and he's able to really do like, it's not even like a playthrough anymore. It almost becomes like a walkthrough because I know so much about a game.
Yeah, it becomes a walkthrough. Okay.
But take a look at those playthroughs. See how many people show up for stream, and see how many people actually watch the videos on YouTube, and you'll see what I mean. It's a drastic drop when I play a retro game. So watch the videos on YouTube, and take a look at those playthroughs. See how many people show up for stream, and see how many people actually watch the videos on YouTube, and you'll see.
How are they gonna check the stream attendance? You're not streamed anymore, dummy.
See what I mean? It's a drastic drop when I play a retro game. So I think about playing retro games when I have time to balance it with something else, so I know that I can keep everything going, and not that I've decided to play retro games nonstop.
He says this, but he so his Patreon playthrough, that's gonna be a whole other video, to be honest. Because I have to find other pre-streams, because there's a lot of things I want to talk about his Patreon. There's a lot of fishy things going on afoot in his Patreon that is gonna be its own separate video, but he recently removed the option to do JRPGs and to do JRPGs or any Japanese long-centric game, whatever, like Danganronpa, Persona, that kind of stuff. He removed this off the table because, you know, he won't make any money off those playthroughs or whatever. But here he said, I could balance them with other games, that's fine. So he can't balance that with Persona 5. He can't, like, balance his JRPG or playthroughs with other games. Yeah, that's the biggest fucking lie. Because he only says that, he says that when he's confronted with, like, oh, are you gonna play this niche game? And they're like, he's like, no, well, I could play that niche game, but I need to balance it with other games. And then, if he does take that niche game in to play with it, to balance it with other games, I'm playing too many games, dude. I cannot balance it with this game, or I'll go out of business, dude. I cannot do that. So, he's a man full of excuses.
For 2 months. Okay, well, I can't pay my bills for 2 months now because no one showed up, right? The last retro marathon I did, that's what happened. It was, what, 4 years ago now? I think it was the summer of 2013. I did the summer of...
Remember, he says that. Then in his Machinima vlogs and all this shit, he says, oh, back then I made the gravy train, baby! I made a lot of money, a ridiculous amount of money. Remember when he said all that? Now he's saying that, oh, he almost ran out of business because he played retro games? Yeah, I don't know which one it is, either. It's either he's making a lot of money or he isn't.
Retro. And I played, what did I play? Chrono Trigger, Earthbound. I did retro co-op with Rambo that summer.
Oh, Rambo.
I ended up doing a bunch of retro, and basically people were so turned off, I ended up even ending it early. Because people were like, Phil's playing shitty games. I'm like...
Let me
some
blame
people are
my
so
viewers.
ignorant, they don't want to understand that game.
Does his Facebook. Usually people like do this or like this, but him it's like perfectly vertical.
From the past created everything we play now, and they don't want to take it in. It's not even just watching it for the fun of the game, but it's cultural.
But remember, he bitches about these old games all the time. Oh, archaic game design. Oh, like that's the one thing he kept saying about, because I saw his when he played Crash 3, the Insane Trilogy re-release or whatever. He's like, oh, this is such archaic game design, man. Stupid. Yeah, the reason why no one wants to see him play old games is because he doesn't like them. He doesn't like him. He complains about archaic game design. All the people who would like to enjoy them probably left because they probably got annoyed or pissed off that this guy kept saying, this is archaic. Oh, this is bullshit. Man, archaic game design. It's the same shit that happens with Nintendo games. As Nintendo games get low views because Nintendo fans don't want to watch him play a game if he's going to make all these dumbass criticisms about Nintendo. He makes a lot of dumb criticisms about Nintendo. Like, I had it when he complained about them releasing games on Friday. That was, like, that was it. After that, like, his criticisms got more and more retarded, so...
Value to learn where games came from. Those playthroughs are critical, in my opinion. But people, they don't show up. So it sucks. It really does suck.
Video game culture.
Like I said, in particular, a few games I would absolutely love to play right now.
Video game culture.
Final Fantasy IV. Suikoden.
Dude, he hyped Final Fantasy IV. I remember when he was playing 15, he was like, man, I feel like playing Final Fantasy IV. Oh, Final Fantasy IV is such a good game. He rushed out to buy it. Oh, I'm not going to play Final Fantasy IV because people got burned out on Final Fantasy 15. So I'm not going to do that. As
I'm trying to think if there's like one more retro game from that era that I would love to play. Let me think for a second. Shit.
Shit. What? Phil, come on, where are you, me? Come on.
Those are the two that right now 100% are coming to mind. All right. So, there you have it. There's your answer.
There you have it.
Next question is from Suck a Surprise.
Suck a Surprise. What's your question? Hey, I ever traveled. I like these spelling mistakes, dude. They're really cool. Ever traveled internationally? Where would I like to visit? I have traveled internationally before, guys. And I still enjoy. I enjoyed Greece the most, but that's probably a bias. I would like to travel to Amsterdam again. Amsterdam was pretty fun, but I would like to go to Japan. That's one of my dream places to go. Once I'm able to go there, I'll be happy.
And he says, have you ever traveled internationally? If so, where did you go? And if you haven't, where would you like to visit and why? Well, I just told you the only international place I've ever been was Newfoundland, Canada. That was it. Never had the opportunity to leave the country outside of there.
Will the Italian want to go to Italy?
Outside of that, where would I like to go? A few places. I'd like to go to Japan someday just to visit. Just to visit.
I like how he kind of chuckled, like, I would like to go to Japan someday. Like, I don't know, it's weird when he does shit like that to me. I don't know why. I don't know why I make a big deal out of it, so don't ask me why. I don't know.
I'd like to go to
think of anything.
Europe and do like a tour of Europe where I could do like Great Britain, France, Italy, Germany, and see those major countries as well and see some of the big
I like how
touristy
the Italian, the guy who brags about being Italian, was like, I want to go to Japan first. And then maybe I'll go to Europe, go on a little tour, Great Britain. I was expecting, when I first heard this question, I was like waiting for the big, like, I want to go to Italy. I'm an Italian, and I think it would be cool to see other Italians and be with my people. I really would like to be with Italians, man. Oh, man, I get to be back in my hometown, go to Italy. Italy. Because, dude, he, like, doesn't stop talking about how he's Italian.
marks and things in those countries.
Well, I guess it's not that good enough anymore.
Honestly, those are kind of the two places I would like to go most. And then if I was able to do those two, then maybe I would consider other places. But those are the two things that I've kind of always wanted to do in my life.
But yeah, don't go to Greece.
Right now, not looking so good. Quite honestly. But I guess we'll see.
I like it, like, right now, it's not looking so good. Quite honestly, like, he fucking smirked at that. Let's look at that again.
Right now, not looking so good.
That smirk. Dude. Yeah, he looks honest to me, buddy.
But honestly, I guess we'll see how stuff goes, okay?
Look how honest he was with that. Not making, it sound like too good, honestly, like.
Okay. Alright, last question, folks, because I went long on every part of Ask the King, and my throat is completely shot, so let's.
Oh no, his throat, dude. He needs that time off. Is the SNES Classic good or bad? Oh, here we go. With this, there always has to be one question where he has a shit on, where he might shit on Nintendo. The SNES Classic, I think, is a good thing for collectors. Like the NES Classic, it's honestly for collectors, and I think it's just for Nintendo to compete with those kind of plug-in and play platforms. You know the ones I'm talking about, like where you go to the toy store and like, oh yeah, like you can play baseball, just plug it into your TV and you're playing baseball. Those kind of games. I don't think these are games that are like genuine playthroughs or whatever. I don't know. Like it's just it's honestly just to compete with that, but it's also for collectors. I don't think it's for like, because if you have an emulator, you're obviously not gonna give a shit. If you have like a Wii U or a Switch or access to a virtual console, you're not gonna give a shit about it. Like that's the thing. Like I didn't buy an NES Classic because it's like I have the games I want on my Wii U. Why would I get that? And I heard like you need to get an extender for that. It's a little weird. The only cool thing that it has that I heard is that you can change the filters of the games. Like you can have them be like an HD. They can display the game in HD. The classic CRT TV style, etc. You can adjust how they look, which is pretty cool. And they have a selection of good games too on top of that. So I think it's good for that, or it's good for like kids. Like if you have a family and you don't want to buy your kid like a PlayStation 4, for example, and you want to buy them a video game, the NES and probably the NES Classic will be a good alternative for that. That's how I feel about it. I think it's just a good platform for for kids, families, and people who just want to collect things. That's what I think.
Let's end the show.
I think it's good.
The final question is from Joe Halo 77.
Another source of revenue for them.
SNES Classic, is it good or bad? Well,
I don't know why it would be bad.
Ultimately depends on who you are. If you're a person who is a fan of Nintendo and maybe someone who has not had an opportunity to get a kind of gaming collection who has not had an opportunity to get a someone who has not had an opportunity to get a kind of gaming collection
that's a
and doesn't know much about emulation and you want the chance to play these retro games from your childhood, then this new SNES Classic is SNES Classic is a godsend, right? You're able to get a singular unit that's going to have like 27 games or something in it and play all these games from your childhood on your modern TV. Great. If you're a collector, probably the SNES Classic is a godsend because it's probably going to sell just as much as the NES Classic did. And you know Nintendo's going to do exactly what they did with the NES Classic, not create enough of them to create artificial demand.
Artificial demand, okay.
But if you are an actual collector of video games, you're probably fuming. Because what's happening here is Nintendo is releasing all these games that you maybe have collections of, and now the value of all these games will go down.
How will those values go down? Because a lot of the times with these re-releases, especially with Nintendo games, they alter them. Like, look at Ocarina of Time. You know, the Fire Temple used to have this very, like, this song that had a lot of racial issues and all this stuff that Nintendo got rid of in a later update of the cartridges. Like, they released new cartridges to replace it. So those cartridges with the original song are incredibly rich and are incredibly of value. Ocarina of Time, you just have blood. You just have actual blood in it. And then I think they changed it for the GameCube re-release where they had green blood. So the cartridges are still more worthwhile. These cartridges will always have a value because they don't make them anymore. Just because they're in a collection or they're resold, it doesn't lower the value because with that logic, they lost their value already with the virtual the virtual console then, with that logic. So yeah, no, the cartridges won't lose their value because the value is in how it's printed. Like, let's go on a mini vacation. Let's go on a vacation, guys. Let's go to a little field trip here. We go to eBay. The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past SNES. Oh, never mind. God damn it, eBay, you fucking assholes, proving me wrong. Fucking garbage, dude. Oh, here we go, 164. See, worth something. God damn it. New and sealed 170. Oh my god, dude, what the fuck? Wow, dude. Bullshit. Fucking eBay proved me wrong, fucking assholes. How dare they make me look wrong? Fucking eBay is always a bunch of assholes, guys. Don't trust eBay. Piece of shit website. Oh yeah, that's how much Link to the Past on cartridge costs. Get the fuck out of here, eBay. I know video games. I'm a real gamer.
Because you can easily play these games on a little modern console. Like Earthbound is one of those games that like was always hard to play, and now anyone can just go buy an SNES Classic and play it easily. So what's the value of the cartridge now? You know what I mean? For someone like me, it's a non-announcement. Any of those games I could play right now on an emulator, so I don't care about buying the SNES Classic. The one exception would be Star Fox 2, which honestly I don't want to play. I thought Star Fox 1 on the SNES, honestly, I didn't like it. I thought that the graphics were terrible. The frame rate's garbage and the...
Yeah, you know, for a game that was on the NES or SNES, yeah, the graphics should have been, like, real good, dude. Unbelievable.
Graphics were terrible.
Okay.
I really like Star Fox 64, but I actually didn't like the original Star Fox that much.
But remember, people should give a chance for retro games because they think it looks shitty and it's not. But Star Fox looks shit anyway, so... What? So he kind of makes himself sound like the kind of viewers he kind of lambasts about the retro playthroughs, right?
So play another game with the same graphics as Star Fox 1, I'm not really interested. I think it would be more clunky and annoying than...
You are not playing gaming culture. You're not experiencing these old games, these classic games. And you're just being turned off by how it looks. Okay, wow, what a fucking idiot, dude. He's just like his viewers that don't like watching retro games because the games look bad. Wow, guys. Unbelievable.
Anything else. That's why they never even released it, because the PS1 had already come out and blown away the SNES in graphics, so they were like, no one's going to buy our game for, 60, 80 bucks when there's far inferior looking games on PS1. Just scrap the project.
What? Whatever.
So,
water.
I don't know, man. I just seriously, I don't see the SNES Classic to be a big announcement, just like I didn't think the NES Classic was a big announcement. People were asking me to get the NES Classic. I'm like, what?
But who would think those were big announcements? They weren't big announcements. They were announcements, but they weren't big. No one was like, oh, the SNES Classic. Oh God, guys, Nintendo saved gaming. Like,
I can play all those games right now. Oh, but don't do that. Go buy the NES Classic. I'm like, it doesn't make sense. It's very simple. It's a collector's item, much like every other thing that Nintendo's putting out. It's a rare collector's item. You have to go get it. Creates artificial demand, makes everyone want to run out and buy it for the resale value. It's really not that big of a deal in my opinion. Okay. It's good if you have no access to those old games and you want to play them. It's bad if you're a collector. For most people, it's kind of who gives a shit. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for Ask the King. I will actually do some final shout-outs here.
Oh, shout-outs, yay.
Let me scroll down here. So thank you to, we had another troll tip from Mort, a $2 troll tip.
Mort's back, guys. It's unbelievable.
We got another person faking to be an Atlas employee who did 10-bit cheer. I'm not even going to bother reading that. Marky Mark 52 did a 25-bit cheer and says, Journey sucked balls, one of the most overrated games in history.
How was that game overrated? No one, was really hyped. I like that game because it was just fun to play with, and I think I got it on sale too.
To agree. Timic83 did a 50-bit cheer and said it would kill for Shenmue 1 and 2 playthroughs before Shenmue 3 comes out. I agree. There's rumors they're making an HD version of them.
Oh, time for a Patreon's choice, dude. I mean, yeah, Patreon's choice. People say, okay, guys, Patreon's choice, Shenmue 1 or 2 or whatever.
But I would like to play Shenmue 1 and 2 eventually. I agree. Tekken 3 did a 45-bit cheer and said Suikoden Craygasm. Yeah. Suikoden's a great game. And the King of Hypocrisy did a 50-bit cheer. And oh my god. Phil, my younger cousin graduated high school this year and is feeling depressed because most of his friends are moving out of town to go to college and he's the only one in the local community college. Now that you're living a single life again and adjusting well, could you give him any advice on how to deal with potential loneliness? Sure. What you should try to do is fill your...
So he gave... Sure, you could say it's like a troll tip because he gave him like a huge paragraph to read, but whatever.
So all kinds of creative things like doing work or hobbies or things that'll fill your time. So that way you don't feel lonely because you're so full of all the things that are going on. You feel like your time's full.
So
okay, I'm done. There you go.
Are you laughing? Why are you laughing? Laugh!
Sorry, I just didn't want to do a 45-minute fucking answer to that question. All right. Thank you, everyone, for watching Ask the King. Reminder, the forum thread for the next... I know people are laughing hysterically in the stream chat. The forum thread...
Oh, man, it's so funny. Again, why aren't you laughing, dumb viewers?
For the next episode of Ask the King, which takes place on August 24th, already exists on thekingofhate.com. You can head over there right now and post up your questions. If you want a guaranteed answer, Patreon, pledge on Patreon, and you will be able to get a guaranteed answer for your question. All right? Last thing.
The very last thing. The only thing.
Wow. We got a troll tip of $2. Not.
Morning, Phil. How are you? I'm off to the Australian Comic-Con. Anyone you want to meet at a con that you haven't yet? Okay.
Reading that one. And Joseph Chalker did a 100-bit cheer and says he's off to an Australian Comic-Con. Anyone that I want to meet at a con that I haven't yet?
I have a list of people I want to meet at a convention. I want to meet... I did go to PAX, so I did meet Mega 64. I did meet them, so that's check mark on that. I met Rooster Teeth. I didn't really care. I do want to meet the artist of Skullgirls, Kanuko, I think is her Twitter name. I really want to meet her. Because I like her art. I would definitely ask her to do a commission for me. I want to meet... I think iFi does conventions, but I think she only does Anime Expo, so I do want to go to Anime Expo. Who else? I met Kevin Conroy. I did meet him. He signed my Batman Animated Series art book, which is great. I loved it. And I want to meet Steve Blum. I want to meet him too.
I really don't want to meet anyone. I'll say that again, and this will be the
He doesn't want to meet anyone. Okay. Yeah.
final thing I'll say for the episode. I don't want to meet anyone.
I don't want to talk to people.
I don't care. Like, it's cool. Wow, you know, this guy is an actor. This guy is into a comic maker. I don't care. Like, I've seen Stan Lee at Comic-Con. I had no desire to wait in line and get his autograph.
He could have gotten an autograph. And then he could have made money off that. Because that has value. I'm pretty sure, like, you know, years down the line, my Kevin Conroy autograph will be worth a lot of money. And I like meeting people that I look up to. I loved Kevin Conroy in Batman, and I wanted to meet him. He was a really cool guy. He was actually a really, really cool person to talk to. Man, are you kidding me? And I met the Aquabats. That's the other thing. I went to a concert of theirs. I was able to meet the Aquabats. I was able to talk to them. It was fucking awesome. Oh, him. I don't want to meet these people. Oh, they're cool, but I don't want to talk to them. So you don't want to talk to anyone you fucking look up to? You don't want to ask them to go... You can go up to them and ask them, "Hey, what do you guys do when you're confronted with hate or whatever?" I mean, he could just ask him anything, and he's like, "I don't want to talk to him. I don't want to meet him." Yeah, okay, be a hermit forever, Phil.
For me, I don't get starstruck. I realize that's very.
How do you not get starstruck if you don't meet the person to begin with? Yeah, Stanley was at a convention that he was at. Probably he claims. But if you never met him, how you can't get starstruck just being in the same building with the guy. You have to be in front of the guy. Like, this fucking guy is full of shit. I don't get starstruck. Bullshit. If he was if Stanley walked right into his room, he'd be like, "Whoa, fucking Stan Lee's here, guys! Wow!" Like, yeah, okay, yeah, he doesn't get starstruck. Okay.
Very different from a lot of people's mentality. And listen, if you're a huge fan, you look up to someone, you want to get an autograph. Tons of people have gotten my autograph. That's cool.
Yeah, I bet that autograph is worth a lot, right, guys?
Talking down about that. I'm just not that kind of person. Like, I wouldn't go to Comic-Con to meet an artist or a writer and shake their hand and get an autograph. I don't care.
But that's the point of going to Comic-Con, is to go for the merch, the swag, the announcements, and to meet them. And he doesn't get starstruck. Yeah, sure you don't, buddy.
I really don't.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Okay.
I've just never been like that.
That's such a lie.
I've been to many of these.
He's trying to make himself sound like a fucking tough guy, and he's not. Dude, so he's no
Comic-Con events, and
no,
I've been to gaming conventions where all this is happening. I'm just like, I don't care.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know. I just think people are people. Everyone's just a person.
Yeah.
No one's some amazing person that's so famous that I want to get their signature. I've never, even the president. It's just a guy. Just a guy. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah,
all right, everyone.
Yeah,
that is
just him, guys.
It. Thank you for watching Ask the King. I hope you enjoyed the show. I'll see you in 2 months for the next episode. My voice is now so shot. I need to rest it for about 2.5 hours before I do my stream tonight. Thank you, everyone, for a great stream. See you later. Peace out.
A load of shit that was. Thank you guys for watching this video. I know it's fucking insane. We went through this and we finally got to the last part of Ask the King. I know, unfortunately, I wasn't drunk. I know you guys like that content, but maybe someday in the future. But that's it. Thank you for watching this video. As we see Jackie Chan, Darkside Jackie here. But see you guys in the next one.